everyone, welcome back to the Pearl Atelier. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the koi fish mutton fat pendant that I'm wearing, which is this pendant. So before I start my video, thank you so much for all your comments. I really appreciate reading them, and I always feel very gratified because there are people watching my videos and asking me questions and commenting. So one of my viewers recently asked me about the jade disc that is behind me. So before I start with this video, I'm going to start with that because that is a special request and I would like to talk about that. I actually got that agate disc, or they call it the B disc, many years ago, and at that point in time it was very affordable. I didn't know much about it. I just felt very much attracted to it because I've always been attracted to Muttonfat Jade, and I got it, and I'm very glad I was able to get it because the prices of these things have really increased, and it's quite difficult to get hold of them, especially when I see also the modern versions are not as thick as the one that I have, and it is almost in the shape, and I mean it is in the shade of the mutton fat, and it has that little tinge of birthmark on it. So I felt that it would be appropriate to touch on that because my pendant is almost similar in aesthetics to it. So when I got it, I really was very much attracted to it because I felt that it was a different color than the usual agate color, and I always feel very calm whenever I look at it. The Chinese also assimilate the bee disc to having everything like a circle of life, everything coming together for you. That is feng shui wise, but for me, I always feel very calm having it in my home, and I always feel that it is such a beautiful addition. It really elevates your space. So let's get on with the pendant that I have. So I have been wanting to get this sort of a pendant for quite some time, but every time when I look at it, it is the 5mm, which is really too huge for me because I'm petite. And when I was younger, I used to love wearing statement pendants or jewelry, but as I get older, I tend to feel that it is a little bit heavy to wear the whole time. Unless you're just wearing it for a short period of time, it can be a little bit heavy and taxing on your neck. So I've always been looking out for this sort of a pendant for quite some time. So it's either too large or the price point is beyond my budget. So I recently got this one and I really grabbed it, and I also realized that there is a trend that has been going on lately, that people are very much interested in this sort of a jade with a birthmark on it. It's very interesting. I've done a video on one of the lavender jade bangles that I got from the Maharani, and that has a stupendous lotus birthmark. So if you have missed that video, I'll be linking it towards the end in the playlist. So for this particular one, they call it the koi fish swimming in the pond, which is very obvious to see because it has got that tinge of that orangey red amongst the pond of the mutton fat. So mutton fat has always been a favorite of the Emperor Qianlong, and if you have been following my channel, you will know that I love mutton fat, and he is my idol. So he is one of the most, or if not the most famous emperor from the Qing dynasty, which is the last dynasty of China. And he loved mutton fat jade so much, and he loved jade in general, but especially mutton fat, that he had a cartel on the jade mine. And that is exactly why mutton fat is so expensive nowadays, because the mine has been mined to extinction. So it is very rare to come across it. And there was one comment previously in one of my videos in which they mentioned that mutton fat, it must be blemish free absolutely. Well, Sotheby's, which is the foremost authority on all things antique, has featured a few mutton fat jewelry from different dynasties of China, and you can see that there are some natural inclusions in it and some blemishes in it. So jade naturally has got inclusions, has got gradation of color, and that is part and parcel of its beauty that makes it very unique, that makes it stand out. So this particular one, I really like it because they assimilated it to a koi fish swimming in a pond. And if you know something about the Japanese or the Chinese culture, the koi fish is very, very revered. A lot of tycoons would keep it in their homes. I remember that one of the tycoons that I worked for, which is almost 100-year heritage company, the father had a fish pond built around his bungalow, and sometimes we would go to their home. For example, if he's too busy to come to the office, we would bring documents for him to sign, or if there is a special event, they would hold it in their house, and I would go there, and I love going there because I love looking at the fish pond, and there will be hundreds and hundreds of koi fish swimming in it, and he knew that I love looking at them. He also knew that I love feeding the fish, so sometimes he would tell me that Eileen, you can feed the fish, but be very careful. The very first time he told me that, because the water would splash on you, and I couldn't understand it. And when I fed the fish, because there are hundreds of them swimming towards you, getting the food, the water splashes out, and it's a very, very wonderful sight to behold, seeing all these very, very fat and well kept koi fish, hundreds and hundreds of them in a myriad of color, some with black spots on it, some with red spots on it. Really, really so beautiful, and it looks so luxurious and abundant, and I understand now why tycoons keep it in their home. So in the Japanese and Chinese legend has it that if a koi fish can swim upstream instead of downstream with the rest of the fish, and jump over the dragon gate, it will be changed into a dragon emperor. So that's the reason why the koi fish has always been revered and assimilated in feng shui to tenacity and abundance and prosperity, because it has the tenacity to be able to swim upstream, and if it's a winner and it swims upstream all the way, it can become like a leader among all the rest of the community. And it also signifies prosperity, abundance, because you know koi fish are very, very costly, especially if you have hundreds of them swimming in your home. That really, really shows that you really, really have wealth flowing in your family. So searching and finding for a pendant like this with the koi fish on it, it has that significance, that historical and feng shui significance. But for me, I think more than anything, I love the beauty of it. Whenever I wear Muttonfat Jade, so for example, this bangle is the first Muttonfat Jade that I own, and even before I knew about it, whenever I wear it, I feel so much more calmer. I feel that there is a clarity of mind. So this jade is always, always very good for those of you who do not have clarity of mind or direction. If your mind is so cluttered and you don't know which direction to go to, this is the best jade for you. And as I mentioned so many times in my videos, the best way to wear a jade bangle is on your left hand, because the veins are directly attached to your heart. So I would always wear this. So for example, if there is a meeting in the office and I need to be very calm and collected, and I need to be able to think very clearly, this is what I would wear. And now I'm very, very happy to be able to add this to my collection. It also comes with a certification, so that is very, very gratifying to know that even though I don't really feel that the certification is absolutely necessary, especially if you know what you are having. If you look at the grade of the jade, it's absolutely beautiful. It's very, very luscious. The color is almost symmetrical all throughout, and then there is that tinge of red there, which is very, very arresting. The contrast of color between the red and the white is, it really makes it a focal point. And as I mentioned, the pendant is not too big and not too small, so that it's not inconspicuous when you wear it. I would also like to showcase my doll that is beside me. Well, surprisingly, she doesn't have a marking on her back, but you can see how large she is. She has porcelain hands and feet, and she is the largest antique doll that I have in my collection. I absolutely love her. I would usually place her next to me in the seat in the living room. I love looking at her. I also love her glass eyes. It's so expressive. And she has a sort of like a dimple on her chin, which makes her even more adorable. And she comes in this beautiful, beautiful dress, taffeta dress. You can see the color is already sort of faded, but it gives it a little bit more patina. It is in a dusky pink color with some lace etchings on it. I got her pearl pendant, which is made up of a real pearl and a faux pearl necklace to wear. So I absolutely love her. Her hair is made up of mohair. I think she's really, really very beautiful. So thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and I hope to be able to see you again the next time. Goodbye.